I've been reflecting a lot about my friendships recently. Friendships are really important to me, and I haven't always had the emotional support I needed when I was growing up or even as an adult. And as a single person, your friendships become that much more important because that's the source of your emotional support. That's who you bounce ideas off of and do life with in some capacity. But I've been realizing lately that as much as I hold space for my friends emotionally, support them when they're going through a tough time, encourage them, motivate them to do whatever it is that they're doing or their goals are, I don't always get that same energy back from some friends. And in some cases, they're just unwilling to do that and they just want someone to kind of give them support, but they don't necessarily want to give that support back. And in other cases, it was just a matter of lack of capacity. They just didn't have the capacity for that. And that's when I've had to really reflect on these friendships and decide on which friendships I want to take with me to the future and which friendships I want to kind of reclassify as more casual or the types of friends that you just do activities with. And the friendships that have proven to me that, or the friends that have proven to me time and time again that they will support me, they will have my back as I do theirs. And I don't really ask for something that I cannot myself provide. And I've had to let go of some friendships where I felt that some of these elements were missing. And I was telling my therapist this, that there are three things that are really important to me in a close friendship: authenticity, reciprocity, and support. And she's like, oh, I'm going to write that down and share that with my other clients, which I encouraged her to do. So authenticity, can I be my full authentic self with this friend, or do I feel the need to mask or pretend or not share myself fully because I'll be judged or ridiculed, or they're just not interested in hearing certain things? So that's a very important element. The second element is reciprocity. That give and take. I'm not even talking about expectation of 50-50 in friendships. It's more like, am I the one who's always carrying the load? Am I the only one who's giving emotional support, who's being there, who's listening? Or is it a give and take? Is it a back and forth? And in some cases where reciprocity was missing, I realized that once I stopped putting in the effort, the friendship fizzled on its own. And the third element for a good friendship for me is support. Do I feel supported by this friend? Do I offer this friend support when they need it? Or is it just the type of friend where, yeah, we can hang out, do fun activities together, but that emotional connection is really missing, or there's just no capacity or desire for that on a friendship level? And there have been some instances where I was going through a tough time and I did get support from a lot of my friends, which is great. And I'm very lucky that that happened. But from certain friends, they just didn't have the capacity for that. And I always felt like I was the one who was expected to give support, but not the other way around. So it's really just a matter of understanding what's important to you in friendships. And I'm talking about close friendships. Like, there's all kinds of friendships. You know, they don't all have to be close friendships. But understanding what's important to you and reassessing those friendships in your life and just kind of being grateful for the friends that you have that do support you. You do feel you can be your authentic self around friends that do reciprocate effort, care, support, the rest of it. And for the friends that just don't, I think it's helpful to look at that and really think about, what is this friendship adding to my life? Is this something I want to take with me into the future? I'm realizing that my expectations and my friends are not always met. And that's fine. I mean, I don't expect perfection all the time from everybody, of course not. And I usually try to have a conversation if there was a behavior or an incident or something was said that bothered me, because I owe that to my friend to at least bring it to their attention. Say, hey, when you said this thing, it made me feel this way and it affected me in this way. I know that was probably not your intention, but I'm just bringing it to your attention to see if this is something that you can just avoid doing in the future. Just as I would appreciate if I said something offhand that hurt my friend's feelings or they didn't like, that they would bring it to my attention so that we can talk about it. And a lot of times, some things that are said are just, they don't mean it. It just kind of comes out in that context or whatever. And if they acknowledge it and say, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, which is something I've said in the past as well, and the behavior changes in the future, then that's great. That's a strong friendship because you're able to talk about things that bother you, address the behavior, and move on from there. There have been other cases, however, where there was certain behavior where I felt there was no reciprocity from a certain friend. I was carrying the whole friendship. I was the one reaching out all the time. I was the one putting in the effort. I was the one offering all the emotional support and getting none in return. And for that particular friend, even though we've known each other for over maybe 12 years, I just realized that after talking to them about it, the behavior never changed. And so I just stopped reaching out because I'm like, I'm the one who's carrying this friendship. You're not carrying anything. And there was no drama, there was no fight or argument or anything like that. It just fizzled because I just realized that we're not close friends like I thought we were. And that's okay. For me, it's actually easier to walk away from people than it is to stay and try to sort it out. So I now, with years of therapy and working on myself, I really try to work things out if I care about that person and I care about that friendship. I'll talk about things that bother me and I encourage them to do the same to see if there's potential for us to continue being the same type of close friends or not. And I find that that's just the way it is for me. And in this stage of my life, I'm okay with having activity friends, people you play a sport with or you go to party with or what have you. But for any close friendships, I really expect authenticity, reciprocity, and support. And I'm also able to provide that. I'm not expecting anything that I cannot give in return. So I would encourage you, if you feel there's a lack of balance in some of your friendships, to really examine that and evaluate whether or not you want to continue with these friendships into the future. And ultimately, the people who aren't right for me, if I let them go in some cases, it makes space for the people who are a better match for me. Whether it's a friendship or a relationship, it applies to a lot of things. So yeah, that's been something I've been thinking about and reevaluating in my life, because I just don't have space or time for friends who are not willing to be supportive, reciprocate effort, or friends that I don't feel I can be my full self around. Because as a neurodivergent person, I already have to mask a lot in my life, and I don't really feel like I want to do that with my friends. I want to be myself with my friends, and I want to have my effort and time invested into this friendship reciprocated, and I want to be supported, and I want to support them as well. This was a topic that I've really been reflecting on a lot, and let me know if you like these kind of videos. I'm doing YouTube for fun. It's just a creative outlet for me. If there's any other topics that you'd want to talk about, let me know. And yeah, have a good day.